Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for attending today our webinar on imaging services in clinical trials using business intelligence-based reporting tools to optimize operations efficiency. We will be looking specifically at business intelligence for data management in clinical trials, including two main components: the integration of the data and its visualization. It is important for you to know that these tools are used at Median during the trials we run, and they are also made available for our clients, CROs, and sponsors. What you will see today is not a tool used only internally at Median. This is a tool currently in production and available for Median's client usage. I am Christelle Duverger, Senior Manager in the Business Development Support Team at Median Technologies. And we are pleased today to cover this topic as part of our webinar series. So today with me, we have two very knowledgeable members of Median Technologies who will help us to understand why implementing a BI-based reporting tool is key in clinical trials operation and how profitable this investment is for both clients and imaging CROs. So we have with us Anne-Sophie Auroux, who is the head of project management at Median Technologies. Anne-Sophie is managing globally all project managers, coordinators, and reader managers at Median. She is a pharmacist by training. We have as well with us Sébastien Grosset, Chief of Operations at Median Technology. Sébastien has been with Median for more than 15 years, and he has worked in several departments within our company, from the software development team to the operations. Both of them are experts in the industry, and they will help us to understand the optimization of operations through BI. We will not answer questions during the presentation, but you can send your questions through the question pane during the webinar, and we'll have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. So after this introduction, I will now give the ball to Sébastien to present us the agenda of this webinar. Sébastien, up to you.
Thank you, Christelle. So let's start with the agenda of this webinar. So first, Anne-Sophie will introduce the mission of Median as imaging CRO, and it will be very useful to understand the next part of this presentation. Then I'll start by the back-end side of the BI-based reporting system, the data integration, and the preparation for the reporting. Then we'll move together to the front-end side with all about the data visualization, including a demonstration of the system currently in production. And to conclude by a simple, this is a must-have. So now I will hand over to Anne-Sophie to introduce the iCRO missions.
Thank you, Sébastien. So as an imaging CRO, Median will have many services among its operations that will lead to multiple processes. One of the first process will be done by the site managers who will create data for the site initiation. We will have our image manager team who will produce data based on their quality control of the images, or they will open queries. Our radiologist team will perform reads and will be the main outcome of the clinical trial. And the project manager will use the project data to perform a risk or change management on this data.
Okay, thank you, Anne-Sophie. So now let's go into the data integration in depth. So to better understand the benefits of the solution, it's really key to understand the challenges of operational data in clinical trials. So as first challenge, you have seen in the description from Anne-Sophie that we are talking about multiple processes and multiple data sources, etc. The second challenge is that data is coming from multiple systems. Sometimes it's internal system, sometimes it would be external system, and generally not the same from one client to the other one. Couple of samples. So we have different internal systems for site management, for image management, for the read system, and we are working with eCRF extract from multiple sponsors, and just be sure that the eCRF extract are always different. And the third challenge, not the smallest one, is that the amount of operational data is huge. with a data set changing every day. And considering that keeping history is very useful for the analysis, the total amount of data at the end of the trial is quite huge. And that's a good transition for a first board, and which one we will ask you to play. So the question is, at the end of a phase 3 trial, the amount of operational data is, and you will have to select one of the 3 reference answers. So the first one is 50,000 lines. Second answer is 500,000 lines. And the third one is 5 million of lines. So I let you a few seconds to answer to the question. I think we are good. So yes, we have a majority of very good answer, because the good answer is definitively 5 million of lines. So I let you imagine if you are managing in parallel 100 trial, you can just multiply this number by 100. So thank you for these answers. So we will come back to the presentation. Okay, so what? How to deal with these 3 challenges we have seen? Is it a good idea to invest in the development of a new proprietary operational software that will require customization each time we have a new data source or file format that is different? At Median, we don't think so, and especially if other existing systems can do the job. Reason why we have decided to use the incredible capabilities of decision-making information system, called here BI for business intelligence, and to rely on the data warehouse for the data storage part. And just because this word is the #1 star of the presentation, BI means the capability for the enterprise to understand the past, determine the current situation, anticipate the future, and follow the result of new actions. So that being said, now how it works. So first, you will need a team, and it's quite important. It's not an easy topic, and we need to have both data engineers and experts of the processes to work together. Then let's summarize through this slide the main 5 steps to be able to perform the data integration. So the first step is an extensive analysis of the processes. Step number 2 is to build appropriate data model and design the data mart. So data marts are the data warehouse part dedicated to the data we will use for the data visualization. The third part is to build and define the data cleaning and data integration steps. So we will come back to this step that is quite interesting and valuable. The step number 4 is to implement the system doing the extraction, transformation, meaning cleaning and integration, and loading, called ETL for extract, transform, loading, relying at Median on Median SS and Microsoft SSIS and SQL Server solution. And then step number 5 is to build the data visualization report. So you can see in this schema that the data visualization report is only step number 5 about 5 steps. So now to go more into the data integration in depth, let's have a short look on this schema. So starting from the left, we have the operation, creating for each process multiple data. For each process, the data is cleaned before to be integrated and loaded into the data warehouse. And what is very valuable here is the fact that we have designed 2 data marts. The first one, let's call the first one the standard one that will be used for the data visualization reports. And the second one is dedicated to take advantage of data cleaning and data integration steps to produce useful reports, providing feedbacks to the operation. On data quality, for example, we will see that on the next slide. So in details, each time the data is cleaned and integrated, the system will identify some errors. So we have a couple of samples here. So for example, missing data, emails that are not emails, dates that are incorrect or not date, etc. So very simple data errors. The system will also identify some data reconciliation issues. So these ones are more difficult to identify, but quite valuable. For example, differences between images received and images in ECRF, differences between images system and read system, etc., etc. And at the end, we already have more than 80 checks available and used in production. And you have in the background of this slide snapshot of a sample of report that is used by internal teams. Okay, so and the good question is what for? What could be the benefits of investing in this annoying step? Because definitively cleaning and integrating data is not an easy task. So let's start by the concrete benefits. So first one is many issues could be identified and fixed on an ongoing mode. The second one is that experts can easily monitor operational data quality and provide accurate information to PM. We will see during the demonstration that it's quite useful, for example, to prepare the timeline for an interim analysis. The third one is it provides efficient identification of what is clean versus what is still requiring control to be performed. And the fourth one is definitively it will ease the cleaning work. And Sophie, I will let you share with us the overall benefits of this part.
Thank you, Sebastian. So the overall benefit for this part will be to reduce the time to submit the images to our readers. We will clearly also reduce the risk of rework for the readers because we will perform reconciliation. The philosophy will be good at first time. And the last one will be to reduce the time to prepare the data transfer to our sponsors.
Thank you, Anne-Sophie. So let's conclude on this first part. So what are we doing? Data engineering using the last BI technologies to integrate the data. What are the benefits? It's fast, robust, it creates value to support the overall quality of operational data. And as a transition to the next part, what is very critical to understand is that you can't imagine to perform a valuable analysis without a good quality of data, explaining why we will have 4 steps of data preparation and only 1 step of data visualization, as you have seen in the scheme. So now I will hand over to Anne-Sophie for the data visualization part.
Thank you, Sebastian. So let's start this second part. So Median has decided to use Tableau software system to perform data visualization in the scope of ICRO activity. This system is internally used by Median team and externally for our sponsor, and we count already 250 users. So we have 5 essential functions for this data visualization that will allow to get access to the data in timely manner. The first function is to get access via report to what happened on the study. The second one is to understand why it happened and how we can explore and analyze. The third function of data visualization is to predict analysis by using data trend. The fourth one is to globalize data in dashboard to check what is happening. And the last one is to support action, what can be done and follow all the action. So the data visualization software is a very complete tool. So we will have complete set of visualization components. So we can get access to overall status, evolution chart, key performance indicator, risk identification, trackers. So it's a very useful tool. It's also an interactive system. So you can click, select, filter on your own data. And as an end user, you can also customize to, for example, you are a CRA and you want to filter for your specific site and only access the record and view the specific question or risk on your site, you have the capacity to filter the system. And then the last point is that you can get export from this data visualization software. You can get tracker in CSV format that could be shared among your team and used to take any action. Okay, so we will review together the 4th dashboard implemented on the online reporting at Median. So the first one is the site management. The second one is the image collection. Then we have a queries tab and the read report. So let's perform a short demo of the system together. So let's start with the site management.
Okay, so let's move to the demonstration system. Okay.
Okay, so first on the site management report, let's focus on a few KPIs. So let's focus on the overall status. So by using the overall status data, we will get access on the number of sites contacted by the site management group and the number of sites not started. So we can follow up on the status of the site initiation. Then the next KPI will be the risk identification. So here we have listed risk for site not initiated. The risk will be to have the image reference in the VCRF, but the site is not initiated on our end, so it's a risk. The second risk, also detailed in this dashboard, is the images are received at Median, but we still have not initiated the site, so we have a risk because we have no record of the training of this site to perform any images. And the last KPI for site management, this is we have built, let's say, an intelligent forecast. So here, as you can see, this is dummy data. So for July, we can estimate the number of sites that will be initiated in the next 3 months based on the number of sites started and the number of sites initiated. So this is a very powerful tool. So next dashboard is the image management one. And let's focus on key performance indicators. So for everyone, we have based on the MCC matrix, this indicator setup. So we will have the median days to receive images via e-transfer that could help us to identify if there is any issue at the site. And we will have also as a median QC on these images and the initial feedback, so that can be monitored and shared on a daily basis. And so for the queries tab, let's focus on evolution charts. So as mentioned earlier, we have the data visualization tool include some charts. So here we have the day for resolving our queries, and we can use this chart to understand how many queries have been closed with less than 10 days, and we can monitor them if it goes above 30 days. Thank you, Sebastian. And the last important KPI we will focus on, this is on the read dashboard on the online reporting. So we are able to get tracker, so we can extract them. And here you have a status on the number of reads completed for each reader and the status of the read. So we can follow up with our reader to ensure that the reads are completed on time if we have key milestone.
Thank you, Anne-Sophie. So maybe to move forward with, we can try to interact with a couple of test cases. So do you have in mind some questions or requests that could be useful to use such a system to manage a project?
Yes, so let's first case is I am a CRA in the US and I would like to have access to sites not initiated and with open queries.
Okay, good question. So this is about site management. So we will go to the site management report. We are talking about the USA. So I will filter on the USA, and I'm wondering about the site not yet initiated. I will filter on the site not yet initiated. So first you can see, Anne-Sophie, that we have a complete report that is only focused on the site answering to your question. So here we have only one site, site number 21, etc. in the USA. And what is very useful in this system is you can record your view to use the next time you will enter to the system or to share this view to your team. So for example, here I will add a new view that is, for example, GSM or CSM. Let's create a new one, CSM USA, and I will save this one as a new view. So you can see here, this is a new view with a filter you performed, and each time you will come back to this view, you will have the parameters defined during this session. Is it answering to your question?
Yes, thank you, Sebastian. So let's. I have another sample. Yes,
Oh.
for the
Or maybe let me come back one more detail, because here we are talking about the status of the site, and we can also take a look on the queries you are managing as a CRA on the USA, and we can do the same filtering exactly in a similar way in the queries management page. So you will be able to filter to the USA, you will be able to filter to the open queries and record your view in a similar way. So sorry, Anne-Sophie, we can go back to the second.
No problem, Sebastian. I did by this tool, so I'm very I'm happy that you answer all my questions. So the second scenario I would like to review with you is I am a GSM and I would like to identify sites not responsive. So I will have a risk on my timelines, or the site with a very important percentage of queries per time point, because it can lead to a huge risk on the quality for my trial.
Yes, good question, quite interesting. So for the first part of your question, we can identify very easily with this KPI in the image collection report, the site that have the lower performances to send image to Median. For example, here we can see that site number 2 is spending a number of days that is 83 as a median to send image to Median. So they send to us 33 images, and the performance are very, very low. And we can see in the tracker that the tracker, when I clicked on the site, is automatically filtered to all the images received from this site. And we can see that in addition to be slow to send images to Median, it seems that the site is also very slow to to enter image into ECRF, because we have many images received at Median not yet available in the last ECRF extract we have received from the sponsor. So that's for the first part of your question. And the second part of your question can be answered by the queries management page. And here we will take a look of the site with the highest percentage of queries per time point, for example. And we can see that we find one more time the site number 2 with a very high percentage of queries per time point. So in this case, one more time, clicking on the site should filter the tracker at the bottom of the dashboard, and you will be able to take a look on the queries for this site and to share, for example, this extract with your teams to request some corrective action. Let's say that maybe this site is requiring a new training or something like that.
Okay, Thanks a lot, Sébastien, for this case scenario presentation. May I do a third case?
Yes, let's go.
Good. So I am preparing for an interim analysis. How can the online reporting be helpful as a project manager?
Okay, good question. So today we don't yet have a page 100% dedicated to the management of interim analysis, but it's quite useful to go in the RITS page, and you can do a tracker especially dedicated to your interim analysis. So the first task you will do is to select and is to define the cutoff date for acquisition. So let's imagine that, let's assume that on this trial, the cutoff date for the acquisition was the 3rd of March. You will select this cutoff date, and automatically the tracker will be adapted to this cutoff date, meaning that you will be able to do some additional filters, for example, searching for image not fully ready in this list, etc., etc. So you will be able to use the tracker for supporting the preparation of your interim analysis. And as you have seen on the left, you have the updated number of subject and time point each time you are applying a new filter. And as said previously in the presentation, it will be quite useful in your planification of the timeline for the interim analysis.
Okay, thanks a lot, Sebastian, to reply to all my questions. So we will move on with the presentation now. And the conclusion of this second part.
Yes, so let's display the presentation again.
Yes. And conclude on this second part. Okay, yes. Good. Thank you very much. So to conclude on this second part, data visualization system is a great information system for imaging trial, and it's definitely a must-have for your companies. And at Median, this is a must-have already in place, because in all our proposal to our clients, this solution is implemented.
Thank you, Anne-Sophie, for this conclusion. So now another question when we, after the fact that we think that this is a must-have, is about the pros and the cons of implementing such a system. So first one, and it's cost efficient. We have seen today that it will reduce the cost of quality by identifying sooner and better the quality of operational data. It could reduce the time to deliver, and it could reduce the time for the project managers to prepare the reports. And so in parallel for the client side, the time to analyze the reports, providing automatically available automatically in the online reporting system. And the last one, but not the least, it improves the relationship and the trust between the sponsor and imaging CRO, because the operational data is provided to the client in a very transparent way. But of course, there's also some cons. So first one is it requires to invest for the tooling. So we have discussed during the first part about ETL system, about the data warehouse. We have to purchase the data visualization system, etc. It requires some new skills. We talk about the data engineer and the data analyst to be able to think about the most valuable presentation, charts, etc. And another one, the last one, but not the least, is also the time to train the users, internal users and external, to the basis of data analysis. Because behind the nice chart we have seen during the demo, the data is quite complex. And the more people will understand the data, the more efficient will be the analysis. And just a sample is the data integration is integrating data from the ECRF and data from a read system, etc. And we can have some discordances between all these data. And to ensure the data will support the analysis. So not so easy to analyze.
Thank you, Sébastien. So if we wrap up this session, so the key home message are: the first one, data visualization tool can be used to deliver powerful reports, provide some quality monitoring, have data on your activity, your forecast, and your risk management. The second point, it's a great tool to take operational decision. So you can take this decision faster and you can reduce your time to deliver it. The last one is to introduce high level of transparency in your operational data that will increase the trust and the good relationship between the sponsor and the imaging CRO. Thank you. So let's have the last pool of this webinar. So what is the most preferred benefit from such system for you? First is the transparency on operational data. Second is the positive impact on operational data quality. Third is the reduction of time to deliver. And fourth, powerful customizable reports or analysis. So I will wait a few seconds for the vote. Thank you. Let's see the result. Okay, so for you, it will be the positive impact on operational data quality. Thank you very much. We will take this into account for Median and to update our online reporting. It's very useful feedback. Thanks a lot. So now we will start with our Q&A session. So let's start with the first question. Sébastien, do we have question?
Yes. So I have a first question. So there was a mention of intelligent forecast in one of your previous slides. Could you please elaborate on the features? So thank you for this question. So yes, it's quite interesting to understand that with Tableau software, we have a panel of mathematical functions that are available to support and perform intelligent analysis. So, for example, to have some trends and many things like that automatically calculated. And here, for the intelligent forecast of the site initiated, we will take a look on the performances of the previous months, and using the performances on the previous months, and sometimes not only on one trial, but on a whole program, for example, we are able to calculate automatically the time that is required to estimate the time that will be required to initiate the site.
Thank you. Any other question in your list?
On my side, I have one other. So,
okay.
Is the data uploaded and available in real time, any time of the day? So the answer is not in real time, but on a daily basis. So we are talking about business intelligence, and usually it's not an operational system. So we don't need to have reports updated in real time, and daily is enough. And compared to the standard reporting that is in clinical trials mainly provided on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, to have something updated on a daily basis is already a great improvement.
Thank you, Sébastien. I have one question on my end. Do you have an example of action initiated after the analysis of the reports? Yes, we can. For example, the queries report. On the queries report, we have an aging table for the queries, and for queries which are after for the aging of the for the queries which are open for more than 30 days, we can discuss with our sponsor and also with the site to track these open queries and try to resolve them. So it has clearly an impact on the queries. Also, another action will be on the reads dashboard. For example, we will see if the reads are not completed by the independent reader, and we will go back to see our readers to understand why the images are submitted in our review system, but they are not read by the reader, and if there is any issue.
Yes. I think the whole system is designed to support some decisions. So it's not only a reporting system with nice trend on what is the current status. It's really dedicated to take the good decision. And what our teams internally like to do with the client is to use this system during the call, during the let's say the weekly meeting with the sponsor or the client, to directly take the decision and define some corrective action or some opportunist action to try to improve some trends directly during the reporting meeting.
Okay, thank you. I have another question on my hands. How does this benefit in a COVID-19 environment? So it's a very useful tool. So we can use the image collection page to monitor the trend of recruitment of new subjects or new images, and we can adapt the forecast as a PM or discuss with our sponsor if the recruitment are on hold or if there is any possible issue. And also using the query, we can monitor the trend if there is a lot of missing images or a lot of what we call suboptimal images. So suboptimal images is when the quality of the images is not fulfilling the imaging acquisition guideline. So we can see a trend, and also with the COVID-19, we can see the trend for the time to answer the queries by the site who could be impacted by the COVID-19.
Yes, so definitively, especially last year during the first wave of the COVID, this tool and essentially internally was more than useful to have an idea of the real impact of the COVID-19 to our activities, because it was a surprise for everybody. So I have another question on my side. So do you need to have an API with the sponsor and CRO EDC system? And also, will the information of the dashboard overlap with the CTMS? So for the first part of the question, do you need to have an API with the sponsor's EDC system? So the answer is no, because the first step of the system we have seen in data integration, the data preparation, is the ETL, the system from Microsoft doing the extraction, transformation, and loading. And we are able to adapt to the different EDC system extraction to be able to load the data inside the data warehouse. So, of course, I think it's similar for every imaging CRO. We will try to have as much as possible some standardized EDC extract, but that's not completely a showstopper. And for the second part of the question, will the information of the dashboard overlap with the CTMS? I think it's what we are calling CTMS in our side is more about the specific part of the management of the images. And I would say this system is dedicated to report and to take the good decision at the good time. It's not dedicated to manage the site, for example, or to manage the image. It's not directly the operational system. It's really a reporting and a decision-making system. So no, it's not an overlap. It will take some data from other system, so either from CSV file or some database view, and it will integrate to provide some reports, etc. So no overlap, except if we think about the CTMS that have one part of operational system and already one part of data visualization, but frequently it's not the case. And so we think that to take the tool that is dedicated to data visualization to do the data visualization is definitely the best choice. Do you have another question on your side?
I have one last one, and I think it will be dedicated for you. Does this system require a data translator to make the most out of the available big data?
The data translator?
To make the most out of the available big data. So I'm not sure we need to translate everything. I mean, we will use simple languages. So
yes. So first, we are not used to work with data, with operational data requiring some translation, because images in DICOM and in the clinical trials are always all in English. So I would say we are not used to receive data in other language, except sometimes with the ECRF extract. And in this case, yes, we can integrate to the data preparation part, data translation part, but with predefined transformation of, for example, an organ that is in Chinese to with directly extracted from EDCs, meaning not a free text, and that will be transformed to the corresponding value in English. Well, hope we have answered to this question.
Yes,
quite tricky one.
If you need more details on that, we are happy to follow up
yes.
with you, because it's a very interesting question. So I will lead, as we have no longer open question, I will lead the presentation to Christelle to wrap up this webinar.
Thank you very much, Anne-Sophie, and thank you very much, Sébastien, as well, for answering these questions and for presenting that webinar. So we have now a better idea on how business intelligence can optimize operations in clinical trials, and specifically how Median, as an imaging CRO, has developed tools to optimize the data integration and its visualization for its clients. So note that Anne-Sophie, Sébastien, and the whole team at Median Technologies are here to answer your questions. You can contact us through our website, and you can as well follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter. We are looking forward to having you for our next webinar that will take place in April, and that will cover some medical aspects. We'll be communicating on it really soon. So thanks a lot again to each one of you for attending this webinar, and I wish everyone a good evening. I know that we have some people listening to us from Asia, so thanks a lot for attending so late. Good evening to the European people, and have a great afternoon for the people from the US. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.